This is Gary Atanu with CNTV, and today we're in Boulder, Colorado. I am here at Rodwin Architecture. Since 1999, this award-winning firm has been providing creative excellence through sustainable designs. I'm here with Scott as well as his team. Scott, thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. You found your degree there at Cornell University. It wasn't short until 2006 you were named Young Architecture of the Year. You have continued to really head up a team that has been awarded throughout the years. Share with me a little bit, we're talking about 2 decades ago, how this all got started for you.
Sure. I've been an architect for 25 years. Founded Rodwin Architecture in '99, and we're a 12-person design build firm here in Boulder. We do work all over Colorado. We specialize in green custom homes, but we also do offices, schools, churches, retail, restaurants, and things like that.
Wonderful. Regardless if it's residential or commercial, I mean, really at the end of the day, what you guys provide is helping folks build their dream. I would imagine that's something you don't take lightly, considering that's pretty important to folks.
This is the most important investment for most people in their lives. The most amount of money, the time, and where they're going to be living for much of their lives. So we do, as a team, we look at every aspect of it, and we take it extremely seriously.
Absolutely. I mean, let me ask you this. Folks out there, they probably have a piece of property. They may know what to do with it. On the other hand, they may wonder, what can I do with this property? What is possible? Share with me a little bit what your feasibility consultation takes care of in helping those folks.
Certainly. We do a free feasibility analysis for people where we actually take a look at the property and help them to understand, will what they have in mind match up with the land, their budget, their schedule, and all the main considerations. My team takes a careful look at all the considerations of the project, the site, the budget, the schedule, and what the people are really looking for in their home to make it the perfect place for them. A custom home is totally different from a spec home. Most people live in homes that were designed for other people, and there's a fundamental difference of moving into a house where everything is custom designed just for you. How you operate in the world, the amount of privacy that you like, the sustainability that you're interested in. One of the things that makes us unusual is that we're able to create what are called net zero energy homes. It's the highest bar of sustainability. We actually just finished one that is a regenerative house, meaning that it makes more energy than it consumes. Colorado has been a leader in the country for creating green homes, and what we do is creating the greenest homes in Colorado.
That is wonderful. So we're talking about out on the site there, what takes place? Are we talking about on site, you're actually going out there checking it out? And does this end in a report that basically is clearly communicated what can take place there?
We're out there every day. As much as we're in the office, we're on the job site. And that means that we are constantly checking the design intent and carefully checking schedule and budget, all those primary considerations that Scott mentioned, to build the greenest home possible and catered towards our client and their overall how they intend to use the house.
Excellent. But you have taken place in projects really across the nation.
We do work all throughout Colorado and coast to coast. About 95% of our projects are here in Colorado, from Fort Collins to Denver, all the way up to Aspen. So we're happy to work anywhere in the state.
Not only on the planning end of it, feasibility on the front end, what about somebody who's looking for really a turnkey solution? We're talking about complete management projects, total development. Is that something that you have gone into as well?
About half of our clients are from out of state, and they don't have the ability to be here to manage the entire process. They're typically professionals in their own right and are very busy. What we bring to the table that's a little bit unusual is soup to nuts turnkey development. So we do the architecture, the interiors, all of the engineering, and the construction management. They hire one firm, single point responsibility. When they hire us, we take care of everything.
Speaking of taking care of everything, quite honestly, you have residential or commercial, small projects, larger projects. I see it that it's very important for you to have your hands in all the details as well, making sure that you're overseeing the team.
We sat down and decided what we wanted to be as a firm. One of the most important things was the idea of crafting our buildings. And when we found that when we delegated out different parts of the responsibility of building the house, that much of the craft was lost. When we sit down as a team and we work on the design of the details and the construction and put it all together as a single package, the craft is kept intact. We're also able to manage the process for the client. to a much greater degree than when we were separating out all the different responsibility. For the client, they're going to be dealing with one team from start to finish. We pass it around the office, but you're going to be seeing the same person at the beginning of the project and at the end of the project, which means the original design intent stays intact from beginning to end.
Interesting. I mean, you said basically the craft. It's almost basically an art. When we look at your projects, you look at your work, we see a lot of the traits like that of beauty, simplicity, creativity. One of the traits would be that, like you mentioned before, sustainability. It's even more than a trait to you. It's really the value that you really have formed this whole company around.
It's a core value for us. Sustainability has become important to pretty much everybody in Colorado to one degree or the next, but there's a healthy competition between architects and builders and folks all over the state to see who can create the greenest buildings, the most sustainable buildings. The question has always been, can you do it in a cost-effective way? Can you do it in a beautiful way? Can you do it in a functional way so that there are no compromises? Our houses are always striving for that optimal balance between all of those pieces so that when someone walks in, they say, oh, what a beautiful house. And then the homeowner says, yeah, and it was a budget that I anticipated and approved of, and it came in on time. And then they say, oh, and by the way, we have no energy bills.
That is amazing. Let me ask you this. Obviously, as the world continues to go green, Boulder is at the forefront. As a matter of fact, the whole state of Colorado. But also, there has to be some pretty strict rules and regulations when you're jumping through those hoops. Share with me how your team, as well as Scott, has been able to educate those here in Boulder.
Well, we actually teach a class in the city of Boulder called Understanding the Rules for Building in Boulder, and that includes a lot of the sustainability factors. We have a great team of consultants and a lot of expertise, and so we bring that team together very early on in the process in order to make sure it's an integrated solution. And we also have a lot of rapport with the county and the city and the different building departments around Colorado in terms of help shape those codes, make sure that they're functional, make sure that they aren't overbearing, make sure that they work constructability wise.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys not only making sure that everyone else is understanding what those are, but you were really there at the forefront when they were maybe laid out as well. You hear a lot about holistic medicine. I mean, to me, I kind of see this as holistic building. I mean, really, what you're really doing is it's a whole system perspective. Share with me what that means to you.
Our team sits down and does an extensive interview with the client at the beginning of the process to find out what's important to them, what their priorities are. Some of them are fairly obvious, such as I want a room this big. I want 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and it has to support my family, and here's the way that we make it work for us. But then they're also going to ask for other things. How will it feel? How much input they want on the creative process, what the sustainability features are that are most important to them. And we sit down as a team, and we weave together those strands into one complete design from the beginning. We don't overlay. We don't say, here's a design, now we'll hand it to the engineer to go and fix it and make it energy efficient. We actually design it specifically so that it matches those. For example, we very often have houses here in Colorado that have a big view to the west, the mountain view. A lot of our clients will say, we bought this land because we want a mountain view to the west, huge view, and we want it to be a passive solar house because we want it to be green. Passive solar and west-facing views don't work together because the house overheats in the late afternoon sun. So we work with the design from the very get-go that actually orients the house to the south, but frames one very important view facing west to capture that big, important view for them while still maintaining the passive solar aspect.
I mean, you guys have a lot of moving pieces to take care of. Not only you're dealing with the client, you're dealing with their needs, what is possible, but you're also dealing with Mother Earth, really. Quite honestly, you're a building that works with the world instead of against the world. Was that an important piece of the puzzle for you to get involved with this team?
Yes, absolutely. I think that sustainability is a shared goal of everybody in this office. We all really enjoy the fact that we are contributing something positive. This is definitely a process. There's no easy answers, and we enjoy that discovery and working with clients to specifically meet their needs. Design build is where you bring the architect and the builder together in the beginning, and with that we have all the pieces and parts we need in order to bring the project in on time, on budget, and a high quality that then also carries through the design intent from what the owners wanted in the very design build brings together Rodwin Architecture and Sky Castle Homes in the very beginning.
Excellent. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you can take a little bit closer look at the firm profile there. Also, take a look at the staff that they have here, many, many years of experience, really coming together to make sure each one of the pieces are taken care of. They learned early on that they wanted to do everything in-house, in control of the entire project. Let me ask you this. I mean, you've got, like you said, over 2 decades of experience in this industry. You've been awarded throughout the years, pretty much every other year, if not every year. Share with me your latest award that you've been proud of.
Certainly. So this team, with Brandon leading the construction and Kirsten leading the design, put together a project called Farmhouse. It's a LEED Platinum regenerative house that actually generates more energy than it consumes, and it's a beautiful home, very conventional looking. A lot of people, when they think of sustainability, they think, oh, the house has got to look really weird with solar panels going every which way, and that it's not part of the mainstream. What's really important to understand is that sustainability is 100% part of the mainstream at this point, and you can have a house that has no compromises. It can be extraordinary in its beauty, in its budget, in its sustainability, all at the same time.
Obviously, your team has chosen Boulder to make their home in, and you're also sharing the dreams of many people who are building a home here. I understand it's very important for you to give back to community. You're able to do that not only through educating folks, writing books, as well as speaking out there. Tell me why that is important to you.
If all we're doing is building a handful of custom homes for folks, our impact is small. If we're able to get those published and show them to people and use them as teaching tools, and then go out and talk with other architects and builders and engineers and code officials and the general public, then people can see that it's possible, and then the impact of that positive contribution spreads much more widely.
Excellent. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. You're going to see their contact information out there as well. Quite honest, just as simple as a phone call. We will find somebody on the other end of the line for you there that is able to take a project, be it small, large, residential, commercial. You have a team that is an award-winning team. Their contact information is there, located right here in Boulder, Colorado. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.